It's the All-American Prepper coming at you. Of course, I'm not ready again. Shit. There we go. All right. Got a question for you. While I'm waiting for people to get in here, if the grid went down right now, would you be ready? Are you ready right now? Well, I would have to make a few adjustments, but I'm as ready as anyone could be. But that's the question, so waiting to see. I bet we probably won't have a lot of people in here because a lot of people is not ready. So that's the question. If the grid went down right now, are you ready? Can you survive it? Would your family survive it? Can you make it? That's the question. That's why I do not use refrigeration, because of that very reason. I don't want to be like, oh, if it's the EMP or solar flare that. Hello. Good to have you here, gunslinger. Couldn't see that shit. Good to have you here. So that's my question. If the grid was to go down right now, would you be ready? Honestly, I mean, this channel is about truth and logic and common sense. So everything but a little bit of hair on my face to be ready. How about that? But would you be ready? That's why I don't use refrigeration, because if it's an EMP or a solar flare, it fries all electronical stuff, and if it's strong enough. And if you got a meat full of freezer, well, you're going to have to scramble to save that meat. Now, can that meat be saved? Yes, if you have the know-how and the things you need to save it with. Like if your freezer was to go out for any reason whatsoever, and you had nowhere to put that meat, and you're like, well, and there's no way that you could eat a whole freezer full of meat. You can cook as much as you possibly can, but even if you cook it all, well, unless you jar it, you can can it. If you got enough mason jars and lids, you could can that meat. So, see, I learn stuff too as I go along. If I had a freezer full of meat, I would make sure that I had enough canning supplies to be able to can that meat. And I would make sure, because, well, if the grid goes down, you're going to have an alternative fuel source. Okay? Well, me, out here in the woods, I got plenty of wood to cook on. So, if I had a freezer full of meat, but I don't use refrigeration for that very reason. When I kill a hog, well, when my dog catches it and I kill it, I cut it in thin slices. I salt it down real good to pull the moisture out of it. And then I put it in the smoker and I smoke cook it. That way, when it's salted and smoked cook, I haven't ever had any go bad on me. Not ever. And after I do that, it probably would be better if I put it in the meat in a vacuum sealer. But I don't have one. And those things run off electricity, as far as I know. I just put my meat, I just put it in mason jars and close the lid on it and set it there and let it sit until I need it, because there's no moisture in it for it to go bad. Now, when you do meat like that, you're going to need a lot of water because there's a lot of salt in it. Now, also, you could take that meat back out of that jar when you're ready to eat it and soak it and let some of that salt soak out of it and pour the water off of it. But that's really about the only thing that I buy is rice. I don't grow rice. That's the one thing I do buy, because I will get those strips of meat, I'll throw it in a pot of rice and cook it with the rice. And then with that smoke flavor from that wood in that rice, tastes really good. Really good. And I've been eating it for years. I don't get tired of that flavor. And I don't have a refrigerator, so I don't have to worry about anything in the refrigerator going bad. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have a freezer, so I don't have to worry about anything in the freezer going bad. When I need meat, there's so many wild hogs out here. Just me and my hog dog. We catch the hog. I butcher it, cut it in strips, salt it, put it in the smoker, and it's good. Well, some of it right then, like the back straps, tenderloins, some of that I'll go ahead and fry it right then. And, and eat it like you would regular. I'll just fry it up. I'll make some batter. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought you said you don't buy flour. Nope, I don't buy flour. What I do is I collect acorns. Yep, you heard me, acorns. And I get a whole bunch of acorns. And down here in Florida, it's kind of tedious because the acorns are way bigger up north than they are down here. But the acorns, I crack all the acorns open. I dig what I call the meat out of the acorns, the nut part. And when I dig all that out of it, I put it in water, because you got to get the tannin acids out of it first. So I put that acorn meat, it's basically like a nut, really. I put that in water. I let it sit in that water 24 hours or longer. And then I pour all that water out of it and put another fresh batch of water in there. I do that 3 times. And that gets the tannin acids out of it. Then I don't know what the hell's going on, but YouTube is saying error, taking me over 5 minutes to see this. I'm not sure what's going on. If you have any spare room in the freezer, put 2-liter plastic bottle. Yeah, okay. That's a good one. If you have any spare room in a freezer, put 2-liter plastic bottles filled with water. Helps make things last longer in power outages. Block ice. Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of... Yeah. I can see that. That would be a really good idea. That is a great idea. There's a reason why I have you as a mod. But, so, But I don't have that problem because I don't use no freezer. I try to do everything primitively. So, wait. Are y'all having problems getting in here on this chat? Is that it? Coffee first. Is there problems getting in here on this chat? Huh. I don't know what's going on. Couldn't chat for the first 3 minutes. Now I can. That's weird. I don't know. I don't have anything set. I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, it's all YouTube? Oh, we good? We good? Okay. All right, so I do everything primitively. Now, I got a Native American. He's a member of the Miccosukee tribe, which is native to Florida. They've been here long before the Anglo-Saxons, the white men ever came here. And they owned most of Florida. Well, me and him are good friends, and he made it a point growing up. Well, actually, his grandfather made it a point that he learned the primitive ways here in Florida. All right, thank you. All right, appreciate it. So, he taught me the old ways, like his grandfather taught him. And that's the way I do things, because I don't trust anything modern. And now it seems like anything modern, like this phone, for instance, that is really the best spy machine that they came up with, because it literally tracks every move you make and hears every word you're saying. It tracks every move you make and hears every word you're saying. Because you just think about it. You'll be talking about a certain product, and then you'll go to, I don't have Facebook, but you'll go to Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and that product you was talking about will all suddenly pop up advertisement. Am I the only one that's happened to? Am I the only person that's happened to? I hear people talk about happiness to them all the time. And I'm convinced that it's AI listening over your phone, and they're literally farming us, and we're just a product. That's all we are. We're just a product. We're being farmed, and we're a product. So, I don't know, man. It looks like that people's having problems getting in on this live. I don't know what the hell's going on, but so, that's what it is, I reckon. I'll go with it for a little while. Maybe I'll try to redo it. But, is it YouTube having... Oh, it's not me? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, there's plans to shut down our grid. Well, at least on the East Coast. So only God knows what the hell's going on, really. Yeah, just a test subject. But they hear everything we say over these phones. They track us everywhere we go. AI knows us better than we know ourselves, for the most part. And besides the phone, I don't have a television. I don't have any modern stuff, except for an air conditioner. Now, I do got one of them, and I have solar. Because it's just too damn hot down here to live without that. Now, I probably would be better off if I did live without air conditioning. That way my body would be more acclimatized to it. Hey, prepping artists, did you have any problem getting in here? It seems like YouTube's having problems. Just curious, did you have any problem getting in here? I'm sitting outside. I don't even understand that, JC Sunset. I'm sitting outside, Hillbilly Harley, and I want to get you this gift so bad. I don't know what the hell that means. I hope it ain't a nasty. But anyway, your comments weren't going through at first? That's weird. I don't know what the hell's going on. Getting it here wasn't the issue. It was the typing part, but it's been fixed. Oh, okay. Because normally I have way more people in here by now, so something the hell must be going on with YouTube. It is what it is. Yeah, it's the black helicopters. Could be. They are looking for a certain groups of people. I will tell you that. There's certain groups of people that's got plans for us that's not very pleasant. And, today, of course, they're going to be on high alert. Anyhow. But I'm surprised we haven't already gotten hit again, to be honest with you. I'm really surprised it hasn't happened again already. But it will. I mean, it's not something I want to see happen. Hell no, I don't. But this time I believe they're going to be more organized and it's going to be more devastating. Okay, I'm a Hillbilly Harley in Tennessee. They have a 1% patch and a 1% challenge coin. That's awesome, man. I like that. I just wanted to know if you have an address I can send without worrying that I'm an unhinged liberal. Well, here's the thing. I don't give a shit. I ain't afraid of nobody. Oh, thank you, prepping artists. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. You know I need it. So thank you. So, JS son, email me. My email's in my description. I'll send you my address. I don't give a shit. I ain't scared of nobody. Anybody wants to come up here and start shit? Not a problem. I already done put on here where I work at. I'll be back at work soon. Come up to my job and start some shit. Not a problem. I got no problem with it. I ain't hiding from nobody. I'm the one YouTuber that actually tells people where I work at. And I'm a bouncer. A bouncer's easy to get. All you got to do is come in there and start some shit. Or if you even want to be smarter about it, I do have to walk to my vehicle when I clock out. All you got to do is just wait outside. I'll be out there. I don't live in that club. So, I'll send you the address. Appreciate you, JC Sun 77. Thanks. I appreciate you. But thank you, prepping artists. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. You know I need it, man, with what all's going on right now. It's been hell. I got a break from Dad, he went back to sleep. I've been spending the morning with him, and he went back to sleep. He's medicated pretty heavily. And so I figured I'd walk back over here and get on YouTube just to ask everybody, if we was to get hit right now, if the grid was to go down right now, who's ready? Who's ready for it? I am. I got nothing in the refrigerator that'll go bad because I don't have a refrigerator. I got nothing in the freezer that will go bad because I don't have a freezer. And all my meat is literally in mason jars, salted and dried out, smoked. So it's not going to go bad. Now, I will cry a little bit because my air conditioner won't work, but that's okay. I'll just go jump in the little kiddie pool I got out there. I'll take a bath in and cool off. And down here in Florida, there's lots of springs you can go to and cool off. But I do know a lot of people that live in Florida, and they think they're going to be able to handle it, but they're not. Because what they do, they get up in the morning, they get in their car, they go for work. First thing they do when they get in the car is turn their air conditioner on. When they get to work, they run inside the building in the air conditioning. They're in it all day. Then when they get done not working, they run in their car, turn the air conditioner on. They drive back home, they run in their house, get back in the air conditioning. So when there is no air conditioning, their body is going to be like, what in the hell is going on? And a lot of them are not going to be able to take it, especially if they got some years on them. I know, because before I lost my mom, and it's still fresh, it hurt so bad, it was just 6 months ago, but when we have a hurricane down here and the power would go out, the first thing I'd have to do is hook up a generator to get a window unit blowing on her, or the heat would make her sick. Just tuning in, good afternoon. I used to work the clubs. I miss it though. I love it. Yeah, the prepping artist, you went 6 years without AC in Texas, so you could handle it. Citizens are generally tougher than most people. That's just the way it is. I found that out. I have found that out, and that is a fact. That's not a myth. That's not an urban legend. That's facts. Texans are tougher than most people. They really are. Even people that are transplanted to Texas become tough. But yeah, I'll be back once Dad joins Mom in heaven. I'll be back at the club, and anybody got any problem with me, you can come up there and we'll settle it. I'm not afraid of nobody. So it's all good, man. Like I said, I don't know how many YouTubers will tell you right where they work at. I will. I've said it plenty in a lot of videos. Alright. So, that's my question though, really, is if the grid was to go down, are you ready? Are you ready right now if it was to go down right now? Are you ready? I mean, can you make it? Do you have what you need? And, unless you got like, see, water's going to be the main issue. You can store a lot of food and put it back. And, you can forage, because there will be a big die-off. When the grid goes down, we will lose a lot of people. Because back in the Great Depression, it wasn't a huge die-off because people, they knew how to live off the land. And they weren't all this air conditioning and all this modern stuff that we have now. They didn't have all that. But nowadays, when the grid goes down, we are going to have a massive die-off. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember when a hurricane came through, shut down the power at an old folks' home. Not sure what you call it, the proper terminology. I just call it old folks' home. And a lot of those people passed away because they got overheated. And there were people criminally charged for not taking care of those people. Because if the grid goes down temporarily and you got access to water and rags, and you got someone that can't handle the heat, and you can't get a generator going and a fan blowing on them, get towels and wet them and put them on that person. And as that water evaporates off them towels, it'll cool them down. But you can only do that for so long, I mean, like me with Dad, I am exhausted. And he's a grown man, all I got to do is just, get him stuff to drink and making food that he doesn't eat. But I still make it, hoping he'll eat it. And just and taking his laundry to the laundromat, doing stuff like that. I'm wore out, man. More than working 12-hour shifts 6 nights a week. I am wore out. Exhausted. Mentally, physically exhausted. Okay, the prepping artist. We live half a mile from the lake, so water's not a problem. And I have a ton of filtration and purification. Yeah. That's what people need to think about. They need to think, where is the nearest water and how can I clean it? Because when the grid goes down, the sewage, unless they got a regular sewage, which most people are hooked up to like city sewage and all, that stuff's not going to work. And so people are just going to be using the bathroom everywhere. And when that gets into like a lake or a river or a stream, somewhere you plan on getting your water from, that water's going to be contaminated. Well, like me, you can use swimming pool bleach, swimming pool chlorine to kill the bad stuff in there. But it would be nice to be able to filter it out of there also. So filtration, water is going to be the main problem. Because like I said, we're going to have a massive die-off. We're going to lose a lot of people. And then I feel that there will be a lot of wild edibles. Even when all the food from the grocery store is taken. And it's literally like the Walking Dead scenario. I believe there will be food to forage. Now, all the wild game, all the big wild game, it will be harvested to extinction. It will. And I'm not ignoring anyone. I'm just not reading the chat all that much. And of course, you can't go more than 3 days without water. And by day 3, you will wish you were done. You're absolutely right, Coffee. Coffee first, you're right. So, that's it. That's a whole nother reason. That right there is all the excuse you need to get a swimming pool. I mean, if you've always wanted a swimming pool, well, run up to your husband or your wife and say, baby, if we can't get no water, we need a swimming pool that'll hold thousands of gallons of water. But I did notice, when the hurricane come through here, that people, I was letting them do it, but they were coming over and getting 5-gallon buckets of water out of my little kiddie pool, which don't hold that much water. Actually, it's a decent-sized kiddie pool, really, but they were getting 5-gallon buckets of water to tote to their place so they could flush their toilet. Because out here, we all got septic tanks. Well, besides me, I got a 5-gallon bucket, and I just burn it. And I got a lot of bridges I got to cross because, when Dad goes, I got to get the hell out of here, which has got me stressed out. Don't become complacent. That's another reason, though, why I'm building a houseboat. It's just an old raggedy ass pontoon boat, and it's just going to be an old raggedy ass houseboat, nothing fancy. But as long as it's somewhere I can sleep and keep the bugs off of me and keep the rain off of me when it rains, I'm good. And I'll be on water, literally. So I'll be on a big body of water, so the water won't be an issue. Now, in reality, though, you got to think how many people are going to be going and getting their water from that lake. So how big is that lake going to be? Because virtually everyone will be getting water from the lakes and the streams and the rivers. So some lakes may run dry. Down here in Florida, though, there's water everywhere. The only problem we got down here is there's too many people. But without the grid and all, most of them, they're not going to last long. They're not going to last long at all. All right. Thank you, JC Sun 77. Thank you. I'll get back with you when I get that email. I'll get back with you on that. I can't wait for him to vet them. Okay. I had heat stroke, so I do have trouble understanding some things. So it did mess with my brain a little bit. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. But, damn, what's going on in there, dude? But, that was my question, when the grid goes down, are you ready? If not, you need to think, because it could go down sooner than you think. And, most people, they got a refrigerator full of stuff. A lot of people think they're well stocked because they got a refrigerator full of stuff. They got freezers full of stuff. But when you cannot keep that stuff cold, it's not going to last. But like coffee first and speak, that's a great idea. And I'm sure you know how to preserve that meat if you have to. I'm sure you do. And so really, that's one thing people, I notice preppers don't do enough of is get salt. I know that's contradictory because, salt will make you more thirsty, but salt is a great way to preserve meat. It really is. Now, water is going to be a big problem for a lot of people, especially if it's an EMP or a solar flare and it fries the electronics because your water pumps ain't going to work. So you're not, how many people do you know that's got a hand pump on their well? How many people do you know that has that? Not many. I don't know many people that has them, like back in the old days. When people were actually self-sufficient and self-reliant, So that's something maybe a lot of people should check into is hooking a hand pump up to their water well. I need to go get some cleaning done. Take care, chickens. Thank you, prepping artist. Thank you. Yeah, you got too many birds. Well, you know what I say. If you got too many of them, Eat them. Live food does not spoil. That's the great thing about being a homesteader, by the way. You know, that live food, it don't spoil. So as long as you can keep that animal alive, it's a walking refrigerator, so to speak. Then when you need it, then you just harvest it then. So homesteaders are going to have a big advantage when the grid goes down. Now, hopefully, homesteaders has got food put back for their animals. You're going to need that. I mean, you got to feed your animals when you're homesteading. Well, unless you're a vegetarian homesteader and you don't have animals, you just grow stuff. But, and even then, if you're growing stuff, you need to water it. That's why I'm like, man, you know, I got a garden. Little Miss Prepper got rabbits. But foraging is the key to survival. I really believe that. You don't have to water it. You don't have to fertilize it. You don't have to chase it down and beat it in the head. Just go out there and crop it. I'm eating my pets. Well, not if the dang old migrants get them first. They really are eating pets, by the way. That damn debate last night was a total crap show, man. I heard a lot of lies. How in the hell can people vote for these socialists? They call themselves Democrats. How can you? Well, I know how, because you listen to the mainstream media and you believe what they say, and they're lying to you. You cannot trust the mainstream media. You can't do it. They're lying, and people take what they say as if it is the gospel. You know. Yeah, exactly. These are not our grandparents' Democrats. They're not. Used to, the Democrats were for the working class man. You know, they stood for the working class people, and it was the Republicans were for the rich people. Okay, but it's not that way anymore. These Democrats now, they're really socialists, which is a nice word for a freaking communist. Hey, Devil Dwayne Prepper. Things are going all right. I'm dealing with stress. I'm trying to manage it, but I got Dad down. He's resting. I'll have to go check on him again in a few just to make sure he's still down. You know, because sometimes he'll get up and move around and I can't hear it. But, because all the women have abandoned me today, so I'm on my own with Dad today. So, shortly, I will have to end this and go check on him. Yeah, just like daylight savings time was for the farmers, it's not no more. They need to get rid of it. Yeah, exactly. And these farms, man, we're losing our American farms. For the farmers, they're not making any money, and we're losing them. And we're losing a lot of our farmland to these solar freaking farms where they're using solar. Now you can't have cows out there. You can't grow food out there. You cannot eat electricity. AI is going to take over the world, by the way. That's why they need electricity so bad, is to run AI. Because AI does use a lot of electricity. I'm trying to think of that one show. What is it? The Matrix? It's going to be like The Matrix, man. It's going to be like a lot of Hollywood disaster shows. all happening all at the same time. That's what I see the future holds for mankind. And the tribes way out there in Africa and the Amazon that ain't never seen nobody and all, they're going to get along just fine, because they're not going to know any different. But for the modern man, it's going to be a world of hurt. A world of hurt. It really is. So, yes, very expensive to farm these days, Even with me, I don't use a tractor. I do everything. Oh, gee, what's the way, man? I got a big garden. But I just use a rake and shovels and just hand tools. I don't use tractors or anything. I couldn't afford a tractor. I couldn't buy a tractor. Hell, I can't even buy a riding lawnmower. I push mowed this 5 acres out here for the last 8 years. I push mowed this whole freaking 5 acres. I have family members come over and they're like, there's no way in hell I'd push mow this. And I'm like, well, it's got to get mowed somehow. And I'm that guy, I'm that one guy that instead of just standing around and looking, when something has to be done, I'm the guy that does it. That's why, I started out years ago as a contractor, because I was that guy, that would do it when nobody else would. And I still am that guy that will do it when nobody else will. That's just facts. How many people do you know that lives in an 8x10 shed? I've been living in one for 8 years. How many people do you know I produce all my own electricity with a little solar? Just enough, because everything in here runs off 12 volts. Everything. Except for the little air conditioner I got. Because, I'm like, when I first lived in here, I didn't have air conditioner, but there's no windows in here. You can get them with windows and all, but with my PTSD, no windows. Now, can I see out? Yeah. Because if you build a bunker and you can't see out, all you did is build a coffin. That's all you've done. So I can see out, but after a couple weeks of me and little Miss Prepper in here with no air conditioner, I was like, no. No. So I upped my solar system to where it's just strong enough. And it takes a lot of solar, by the way, to run just a little air conditioner. I got the littlest air conditioner that Home Depot sells. And it takes every bit of my solar to run that air conditioner. I couldn't run a refrigerator if I wanted to. I couldn't run a freezer if I wanted to. Not even one of those little ones. I couldn't do it. Because every bit I get goes to that air conditioner. And, I may be rough and I live like a savage, but I do take a bath every day, okay? And I run 7 miles. That's another way you can get me while I'm running. I run 7 miles every morning. I run 7 miles every evening, picking up cans. But I just wasn't going to make little Miss Prepper suffer, man, without no air conditioner. It's just too hot. So I did get air conditioner and I upgraded my solar enough to run the air conditioner. But everything else in here runs off 12 volts. And, it's rechargeable. Everything, all my lights are rechargeable. Everything in here is rechargeable except for the air conditioning. And to live in Florida without air conditioning, well, My wife puts up with a lot, so I'm not going to have her deal with that also. No, not doing it to her. Okay, I don't wish anyone anything bad, but your family isn't going to respect what they have till it's gone. When you leave the property, they're probably going to wish you didn't leave to help take care of the land. You're right. You're right. But they're a bunch of buzzards, man. I tell you what's going to happen. See, right now, they got me to focus on. Okay? You see how everything just flickered because my air conditioner just turned on and is pulling the hell out of my solar? But right now, they got me to focus on. As soon as I'm out of here, they're going to turn on each other. They always have, they always will. That's what they do. They're a bunch of buzzards, man. So when I got to get going up out of here, and then I'm no longer the bad guy, you know, the only guy out here taking care of Dad, the only guy out here mowing, the only guy out here paying the property tax. When I'm gone, they ain't going to have me to point at, and what are they going to do? They going to turn on each other. That's what they going to do. Then they're going to fight like hell because they are the most greediest, non-paying their dues people I know. Because they always say, hey, come get me and I'll give you this. So I'll go rescue them. They never pay me for it. They never do. So I'm not rescuing them anymore. I'm not doing it. Because I've had a family member that I rescued them several times and promising me the world and still hasn't even paid me back for that freaking McDonald's I stopped and bought them. So, yeah, there's that. But I showed mercy because the man was in a bad way and all. I'm too nice for my own good. I am. And I still feel bad for the man because he went through a lot of shit. But apparently everybody does. You know, I'm finding that out. What comes around goes around. You got that right. So, they're just going to turn on each other. That's exactly what's going to happen. And they're going to fight over every little thing. I've never seen people that were that way. My daughter, I got one daughter that she just looks at them and she's like, damn, Dad, they're all that way. She just can't understand. She can't wrap her head around why they're that way. I got a big heart and it costs me dearly. It does. It costs me dearly. Like, I'll rescue them. They never pay me for it. I'm not doing it anymore, though. Like, on my mom's side of the family, anytime they had a dispute with someone, because down here, you want to talk about inbred rednecks? Good God Almighty. Polk County? Dog thieves. Well, they ain't eating dogs, but I'm not going to even say what one of my family members got caught doing with a dog. I'm not saying that, but since I said it that way, you can imagine. How disgusting are these people, man, that would do something like that. And he wasn't eating the dog. Wow. How disgusting are these people, man? I'm the only one. It seems like it's not that way. You know? I'm not going to mention no names, but When my mom was sick, she wanted me to go to Walmart with her, and I did, and she looked sick, you know. And one of the family members walked up to her and just had had breast cancer and lost that, which I feel bad for her for that, by the way. But she goes up to mom, she's like, oh, well, you know, all that smoking, that's what made you sick. Yeah, Polk County moose, man, you know, bro. The inbreeding, the family member that got caught doing bad things with a dog. Wow. And I asked him, I was like, bro, were you drunk? And he was like, no. I was like, what drugs were you on? He was like, none. And I was like, you mean tell me you weren't drunk, you weren't on drugs, and the police caught him doing that, took him to jail. I could only imagine the look on the cop's face when they come around and call him doing that. I'm like, only in Polk County, man, is that, God. Anyway, his mom comes up to my mom and is like, I told you about that smoking, da 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 da. And smoking had nothing to do with my mom's blood cancer. And I could have said some very wise stuff, but such as, you know, the dog incident, and I didn't say nothing. I just kept my mouth shut. I'm like, you know. But now that my mom's gone, I'm very angry with that person for saying that shit to my mom. Yeah, people are sick in the head, Moose. Man, what the hell's wrong with people? Why? The guy, you know, the guy's married. Why would he do that to a dog? I don't get it. And then I'm like, holy shit, he's got children. But I ain't said no names, so my family that watches this comes at me complaining. I never said no names. And the people on here, y'all don't know who I'm talking about. The family's gonna know who I'm talking about, but the family already knows. So it's not no secret to them. It's just terrible. I don't get it, man. I don't know how this conversation... I apologize. I don't even know how this conversation went down that road. Let's get back on the lane. We went down the wrong road. I don't even know how that shit went that way. I'm sorry for even going there. Okay, back to... Are you ready right now if the grid goes down? You're going to need water. That's the main thing. You're going to need water, water, water. So think how you can get water, okay? And then you're going to need food. You know, and then are you going to be able to survive the elements? You know, where you're at, is it going to be too hot for you? Yeah, Moose Man, I'm as ready as I can be. Me too, Moose Man. I'm as ready as I can be, you know. As ready as anyone can be. I'm as ready as I can be. And I will live until I die just like everyone else. I just suspect that me and Moose Man will hang in there longer than most people will. That's awesome, Hillbilly. Hillbilly lives on the land and also has a shallow well with a hand pump. You got it, bud. Not many people have that. You know, now's the time when people need to... Well, actually, should have been thinking about that. You know, that would save people from having to go down to a lake or a river or a stream if you got a hand pump right there at home. Because when the grid goes down, just leaving your home is going to be dangerous, man. Couple reasons. One, leaving your home, you better have somebody there to guard your stuff. Two, I'm going to say it without saying it. People are going to be so hungry they will eat anything. I said it without saying it. Because, proof of, there's a lot of people that say, oh, I would never do that. Maybe you wouldn't, but there is people out there that would. A long time ago in India, they had a major food crisis, man. And literally the men had to stay awake at night to guard the children, to keep from other men coming and taking the children to use them for calories. Let's put it that way. Moose man, I have a pond full of fish near 8,000 acres. Moose man's, he's ready, and he ain't kidding either. 8,000 acre lake with emergency water purification system ready to hook up if needed, and I can make up to 100 gallons a day of pure water. See, Moose man, and I know for facts he's ready. He's ready. He's got this. But there's very few people that are like Moose man. There's very few of us that are that way. And honestly, Moose man, he's actually set better off than I am, really. Moose man, you're set up better than I am, brother. That's facts. So, but I got the bare necessities. I got what I need. As far as, if the grid was to go down right now. Me and my wife and my immediate family would be able to make it. Until, the good Lord called us home, because we all have an expiration date. So, there is not saving a life, there's just extending a life. And that's a good thing, really. I've saved a lot of people with one of these right here. Something just as simple as a tourniquet. When you need a tourniquet and you have one, you can't put no price on something like this. And you need to know how to use one. So, if you get nothing else out of this live, because I'm going to end it here very shortly. I got to go back on over and check on Dad. But if you get nothing else out of this live, okay, because I don't know how the conversation went that way, but get a tourniquet, learn how to use it, get more than one. I wouldn't be affected by the wars and all the bullshit. That's awesome. That's good there, Dirt's Goats. Hey, you know what? You're better off than most people are. With that right there, you're better off than most people are. Yeah, Alaska is good, man. Moose man lived in Alaska. I know I'm going to end up getting the hell out of Polk County. When I get kicked off this property, me and my houseboat and all, we're getting the hell out of Polk County. Trouble with Antarctica is there's no trees to burn for heat. And then, but Alaska isn't America. That's the problem. Yeah, well, you're kind of set up off there to the side, though. You're not down here with all these. I'm not going back down that conversation again, but anyway, you're not down here with all these people, okay? I don't know how in the hell we went that way with that, but hopefully somebody got a laugh out of that. And having years of wilderness survival, hunting, fishing, and trapping experience helps as well. Yeah, and Alaska is so vast and unpopulated, you can hide. And then, so I said, but you're right next to Russia. Yeah, you know, that is one thing about Alaska. It is right next to Russia. And what if Russia decides they want it back? You know, they have been known to decide they want something back, right? But if you really know the whole truth about that, that shit never would have happened if this freaking Kamalia didn't go to Ukraine and invite them to join NATO. That's what really started all that shit over there. Just do your research. You'll know I'm right. Yep, hillbilly, growing up in the country is the key to survival. Yep, that's what gave me the hands up, and having a dad like mine that taught me how to. Alaskans have more guns than Russians do. Moose Man, look, tell you what, Moose Man's the last person in the world that I know you want to mix it up with, because his ass is ready, buddy. That's facts. I love you, Moose Man. We got to do it live, brother. We got to do it live. I may end up coming up where the hell you're at, man. You got this shit ready, baby. I mean, seriously, you got it ready. Me and my wife, we might come over there hanging with you. We're going to get the hell out of Polk County, man, because, you know, I've discovered something. Check this out, Moose Man. Polk County, okay? What does Polk stand for? P-O-L-K. I figured it out. This is what Polk stands for. P stands for people. O. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Polk stands for people of little knowledge. That's what Polk stands for. Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of Polk County, man, once this is all said and done. I figure you like that one, Moose Man. People of little knowledge, that's what Polk means, buddy. All right, we coming up on an hour. I just wanted to throw that out here real quick, you know. I mean, are you ready if the grid goes down? If you're not, you need to sit and think and figure it out, because it can happen at any time. And get a tourniquet and learn how to use them. See, All America Prepper. Stay ready. Stay dangerous. Stay frosty. And have a blessed day.